On today's episode of Rocket Design, I'm going to show you how I transformed a dated kitchen from this to this. This kitchen was originally renovated in 2007. It had cherry cabinets, a red recycled glass backsplash, and a slate floor. Originally, the walls were a medium gray color, and during COVID, I decided I wanted to brighten everything up. So I found a paint color called Roman Plaster and painted it on the walls in an attempt to brighten up the space. But I soon learned that wasn't going to be enough. After I painted the walls, I decided to change out the cabinet hardware. The original cabinet pulls frequently got caught on my clothes, and I wanted to find something that was a little bit sleeker. I went on Amazon and found these black metal pulls for probably about $2 each. They were very inexpensive and easy to swap out, but you can already see the finish on the original cabinets is starting to wear away. The next thing I considered doing was changing the backsplash. But not wanting to demo the original tiles, I decided to go with peel and stick wallpaper as a temporary fix to see if I liked the idea of having a much lighter, brighter, more neutral backsplash. And I actually liked it a lot. However, you could tell it was wallpaper. Then I tried some more sophisticated peel and stick backsplash tile, which I really liked the look of. It had a mosaic glossy white finish, but that unfortunately did not stand the test of time. It fell down almost immediately. So I took a leap of faith and decided to paint the actual tiles. I used a Zinsser semi-gloss white on the tiles, and it has held up perfectly for the past 5 years. I have touched up a spot here and there, but other than that, it's looking great. The next project I tackled was replacing the broken saddle. You can see it has a crack down the middle, and it has been like that for a while. So I originally tried to find another marble or stone saddle, but eventually settled on this oak transition piece because it matches my floor and it would be very easy for me to cut to size. After lightening the walls and the backsplash, I realized that I still wanted to brighten up the kitchen. I was inspired by the idea of painting the entire refrigerator surround to match the sides of the refrigerator. The refrigerator sticks out a little bit past the cabinets, and I thought, what if the entire cabinet was painted the same color as the refrigerator? Would it help it to kind of fade into the background? So I went on a journey of discovering a paint color that would match. I looked at some inspiration photos and found these gray kitchens that really were more the color palette I was going for. Especially this one with the dark countertop gave me the idea of what was possible. I then went to Home Depot and picked out 3 colors: Greyhound, Downtown Gray, and Silver Feather, which I eventually painted on the walls. I painted a couple of pieces of cardboard to put next to the refrigerator to see if I was happy with the color match. And after a few days of thinking about it, I decided to run with it. Went to Home Depot, got the first 2 gallons of paint, which were about $30 each. The paint I bought was a paint and primer in one because I decided that I wasn't going to sand the cabinets. I wasn't going to put in that kind of time and create that kind of dust in my apartment because I don't have a separate garage or workshop. So I said, I'm going to paint them with the paint and primer in one. I'm going to do as many coats as it needs to cover, and if it gets scratched, if it gets dinged, I'm going to touch it up. There's always paint left over. The first part that I decided to paint was the refrigerator surround, so I could see if my vision was coming together. And I was thrilled with this color match. It gave me the inspiration to continue. I decided to paint all of the lower cabinets in the same color as the refrigerator surround, which is the Greyhound, and then I painted the upper cabinets in the Downtown Gray, which is 2 shades lighter on the same paint chip. I painted the doors with a brush first to get into the cracks, and then with a foam roller, which really gave me a nice finish. I painted the cabinet boxes mostly with a brush so that I could get into all of the corners, but then I went over the fronts with the foam roller. This whole process took me about 5 days because I was working at the time. So before I left from work and after I got home, I was working on painting. I did a few doors at a time because what I did was I set up in my dining room, and I only had so much room to set up drop cloths and pieces of cardboard so that I could lay out the doors. So I basically did maybe 4 or 5 doors at a time. I took off the hardware, I wiped them down, I painted the back, waited for an hour, did another coat on the back, flipped them over, did the first coat on the front, and an hour later did the second coat on the front. Let them dry until the evening and then put them back up so I could see my vision coming together. I was very pleased with the way it all came together, but of course it sparked more ideas for opening up the kitchen visually even more. You'll see I had a large pot rack hanging from the ceiling, and I decided maybe it was time to move it. I have a lot of cabinets in the kitchen, so there wasn't any reason that I couldn't fit the pots and pans inside the cabinets. After I took the pot rack down, I looked at the curtains and said, you know, I think I would like something different. What if I do the Roman shade trick where you bring it all the way up to the ceiling? Wouldn't that make the ceiling look higher and not block any of the light from the window? I originally had the sheer curtains on the window so that I could let light in but also have privacy. But then eventually I put a sticker kind of film on the window, so privacy wasn't an issue anymore. I found this fabric at a local fabric store, and I loved it because it had this groovy mid-century pattern but was within my color palette with the grays and light grays and whites and blacks, and this floral pattern which was kind of unexpected in this palette. And I just loved it, and I had some left over from pillows I had made, so I took a piece of plywood, I cut it to length, and I wrapped the fabric around it, stapled it, and then folded the fabric into the shape of a Roman blind. I then flipped it over and just did some stitching by hand to hold the folds in place. The next project that I decided to take on was the floor. There were several tiles that were much lighter than all of the dark browns and gray tiles that I had, so I decided to paint them. But little by little, I started to see how much brown was in the floor, and I really didn't like the way it looked with the new cabinet color. So you guessed it, I painted the entire floor. There's a few tiles that actually were in the right cool palette. The rest of them I painted with a combination of paint, watered down paint, and sponge painting. And then after all the tiles were painted, I decided I needed to also paint the grout. I took the paint color from the base cabinets on the bottom and I watered it down so that it would run into the cracks. And I covered all of the grout lines with this paint, and it covered really well, much better than I had expected. And I can't believe that I was able to transform this floor with paint. The amazing thing is, 2 years later, it still looks great. Pretty much with the cabinets and the floor, occasionally you get a scratch or a chip. And I just keep the paint on hand so that I can touch them up when it happens. Overall, I'm amazed with how well this project worked out, and I'm so happy you guys decided to come on this journey with me. Stay tuned for more before and after videos and apartment transformation. See you next time.